Look at that. Episode 353 of A to the Show. Traveling around the world. Now we're in Dutchland with Regian. Thanks for coming in. All right. So let's jump right into it. All right, Regian, world kickboxing champion. What a legend. I want to ask you right now. I've never knocked somebody out. All right. I know you've knocked many people out. So
Yes.
it's kind of like your talent. It's like your skills knocking people out. Do you want to tell us how you got so good at doing that?
Um. Yeah, I can tell you, but
Yes.
me, I really don't know how I'm so good at it because, yeah, I think I was born with it, But yeah, it's a strange feeling to knock somebody out. It's like my first time was like really a shock, because I was like, the guy, I put in a head kick and the guy was like sleeping, and I was like, oh my god, I did that, like, is he okay? But then I looked to my friends, and my friends are like celebrating, like nearby the ring. I was like, oh yeah, I won, So it was a strange feelings, but after a while you get used to it, and you celebrate after just like a few seconds after you knock somebody out, But yeah, it's just you have to train a lot, man. Train a lot, practice, and then the knockout will come.
Wow.
I always find it strange that people get into fights in the ring. Like, how do you get yourself in that mentality that you kind of want to hurt the person that's in front of you, but you don't really have any problems with them as people and you respect them? So how do you separate those two things?
At my level, you separate that two things real quick because it's also your money, You fight for money, and it's just you separate business with your private life, It's the same thing. Now you separate your feelings for the person, and you just go for the kill, because in my brain, he's gonna take my money if I lose, So it's just business. But I use my feelings also, I get also aggressive, of course, because you are fighting, So yeah.
Oh wow.
The deal, I watched Mike Tyson on a podcast recently, and he talked about how he puts himself in that mindset too, like where he has to be aggressive right before a fight, and he has to be
Yes.
angry, and he has to be also he mentioned other qualities like envy and jealousy and other things, and he used to feel bad about it too. He said he would cry before every fight because he would just feel so bad about zoning into that character. Now, for you, when you separate those two things, do you feel like going into that fight, are you friends with that guy, or do you feel like that character you put on is
no,
okay?
We are enemies. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's like how Mike Tyson described it, but I wouldn't say that I cry, A fight is a fight, You have feelings, you're gonna hurt the other person, of course, and that's just part of the job. You have to accept that, and he trying to do the same to you, So yeah, and the part that getting the aggression going out is like, you train like for 1-2 months before the fight. You build up your training, and you just focus on your opponent. And me myself, I blame my opponent for all the training sessions. Get up early in the morning, go running, then working, then after work you train again in the evening. Your training is yelling at you. You have to go on a diet. You cannot eat what you want and stuff like that. You have to lose weight also. So I blame him for all of that. And then when I'm inside the ring, it all come out, and yeah, it's definitely you are definitely another person when you step in the ring. But after the fight is over, it's all good,
So what made you get into kickboxing opposed to like other combat sports?
When I was younger, like 12, 13, I watched K1 on television on Eurosport, and I always liked it, to see and also practice. I practiced in my head, like, oh, it would be really nice if I could do that, And then when I was 15, I just Googled the nearest gym in my neighborhood. I stepped in the gym. It was Sichertong, Amsterdam. I'm still with that school, by the way. And I asked a trainer, like, can I fight? And he just laughed at me, like this little boy, ask if he can fight. Then he said to me, like, if you come now for 6 months straight, every training, you can fight within 6 months. And 7 months later, I had my first fight. So, the rest is history.
The rest is history.
Your
Yes.
record is outstanding, man. Like, if
Thank
I'm not
you.
mistaken, you have 55 wins, right? 55, 58?
65.
65.
No, wait. Yeah, the numbers in my language are different. Wait. 56, sorry. 56.
56, okay.
56, yes.
I was
And
off
4
by
losses. Yes,
one.
4 losses.
My question is to you, you're only 28, right?
Yes,
How,
yes.
man? Like, how many fights do you have a year? How long? That's amazing.
I started training when I was 15. When I was 16, I had my first fight. I turned pro at 18 years old, so only 2 years later. And I had a time that I fought like almost every month. So that's why. And
that's not even one training camp. For some people.
Because really I don't have like a training camp, I even now I'm keep training like 6 days a week, but only once a day. But I keep training, keep the body like in shape, And when I have a fight, I do like 3 days, 2 times a day, and that's it, man. So but I enjoyed it, like fighting every month, but your body don't enjoy it if you do it like 2 years after, straight. So at some point you earn more money and more money, so you reduce like the fight, fighting the time that you fight a year.
Frequency,
Yes, so it's less and less and less. So now it's only like 4 times a year, but it's all good, It's better for my body.
So I know your boxing style is your kickboxing style is Muay Thai, right?
Yes,
And,
yes.
So what other kickboxing styles are there, and what are the differences between the different styles?
You have like the Muay Thai style, you have like the Dutch kickboxing style, and I would say you have like the American style. But I would say like the Muay Thai style is more like, I have like both the Dutch style and both the Muay Thai style. The Muay Thai style is like more of kicking, you only 1 or 2 punches and then the kick and 1 punch kick, like that, or the knees. And the Dutch style is like, for me, it's like really the complete style, you do like, it's more boxing, and you do like 3 punches, 1 kick, 1 punch, 1 kick, 2 punches, 1 kick, like that. And you keep continue, like putting the pressure. And the American style is like a little bit of the Muay Thai, but also with boxing, So they start like a little bit slow, box more, and sometimes they throw a kick. But that's my opinion. Yeah.
And so you joined one championship. Is there like a thing in the future where you might switch into MMA, or are you looking to stay in kickboxing?
It's a possibility that I can switch to MMA. I train it like once a week now, but I'm not ready yet to step in the cage to do MMA. But maybe in the future, you never know what the future brings. So you never know.
But you watch, like, I bet you watch a lot of MMA.
Not a lot, but I watch. Yes, I follow it. Yes, especially the UFC, and also a little bit one championship. I follow also MMA.
And so what do you think about the criticism that's going on right now, where they talk about how strikers are kind of out of it, out of the game, and it's mostly just for grapplers these days? Do you think that's going to be the case?
No, I don't think so, because almost if you look at the big fights, almost every like fight win by way of striking or ground of pound.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Just the statistics speak for themselves.
or not checking leg kicks, like that's this kind
Yeah.
of fights,
that's very true. Very true. No
So
one's
yeah,
checking.
yes. So, but yeah, for a striker, it will be I wouldn't say easy, but it will be like easy easy to fight MMA, but it will be difficult to fight like a grappler or a wrestler.
See.
Yeah.
I want to know, Reggie, and part of what you do is you have to travel to all these different places to do different fights.
Yes.
Is it difficult to travel to a new place and fight a new place, or do you find it easy to accustom to a new location for fighting purposes?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not like difficult.
Yeah.
Because I can like adjust quick,
Yeah.
and I'm already used to it, because I only had like 7 pro fights in the Netherlands, and then after that I got a new manager, and since I got that new manager, I just never fought again in the Netherlands. So, and that was at the age of 19, 20 years.
Right.
So I started like really young to travel the world and fight, So in the beginning it was how do you say? You get like a little bit nervous because you're young, you're fighting against grown guys, like really men. And in the beginning it was like, yeah, I had to get used to it, flying to another country. You are the underdog, of course. You're fighting their favorite guy, stuff like that. But I really like enjoying, to be the underdog and to beat the favorite guy,
Right.
So, yeah.
And go ahead. Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, what do you think about people that say, you need to get in at least one fight in your life? A lot of people say that. People that fight, at least I have some friends that fight, they do kickboxing, they do jiu-jitsu, and they're like, man, if you haven't been in a fight in your life, then you need to get in one. You need to be in that position where you feel that fear that someone could beat you up.
Yeah, it depends what your goal is, Sometimes you have people that talk like tough, yeah, I would do this, I will do that, but then I can say like, then you have to fight, to really experience the feeling, But if they are humble, then they just like hesitate to get a fight or not, then I wouldn't recommend it, So
Yeah.
How often would you use your skills outside outside the ring?
I never use my skills.
No.
I prefer to walk away.
Uh-huh.
If I will be in a situation, I prefer to walk away. But thankfully, I never use it outside of the cage or ring. So, yeah.
Yeah. Do you agree with people that say, combat sports, whether watching them or participating, it makes people more aggressive? In my experience, I would disagree, because it's calmed me down.
Totally not. Exactly. You can lose your aggression in the training, and that was also a part because I started kickboxing and Muay Thai, because as a kid I had a lot of aggression inside me, and I noticed if I did a workout, not even martial arts, but just a workout, then I can lose like the aggression, because you have to work, your body have to work, and especially with martial arts, you can lose the aggression in a controlled way, So
It calms
no,
you
I
down.
disagree.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
it calms you down. Yes, so I totally disagree about that.
You know,
you have that kind of assholes that how do you say, ruin it for everybody, you know. Then they are putting in the news like, yeah, he do martial arts and he assault somebody, and then you get the things like, yeah, martial arts is bad because it makes people more aggressive, blah blah. But this it's with everything like that. One people ruin it for the whole, for the whole other
For
community.
everyone.
Community,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting you said how, like, when you were a kid, you were a little more angry or aggressive, and you were able to train in kickboxing, and you actually learned to calm down through it. Some other kid, maybe they would have given him some medication or shouted at him, and he would never have that opportunity to kickbox.
Yes.
So I guess that's why it's actually really important. It's actually the opposite. You actually kind of need all these sports and combat sports, because some kids need them as
Yes.
cope. Wow. Have you ever
Yes.
seen that in your experience, like, because you're teaching people now?
No, not really. I had parents that the teacher told them like, yeah, your kid is too too, how do you say, busy, like, the behavior is too busy, and they thought like, yeah, maybe you have to go with them to a doctor, and maybe the doctor can say things about his behavior and stuff like that. Sometimes your feeling as a parent is better to listen to that than to listen to somebody that's outside of your environment. So then I would recommend put your kid on a sport, besides school, and he can also lose like his energy, so yeah, that's my advice.
Oh wow. Yeah. It's amazing. A lot of what people deal with are like stress and anger and being sad, and it seems like being involved in sports just in general is just so amazing to help you get out of all that situation.
Yeah.
Do you still feel all those like emotions, like anxiety or stress before a fight, or do you feel like calm before a fight?
No, I still feel the feelings,
Yeah.
but they are less than like before my first fight. But I call them like good nerves. There is stress before every fight because you have to make weight. Now with this corona bullshit, you hope your whole team tests negative. Also, your opponent have to test negative, and his whole
Right.
team. Your opponent has to come also on weight, and then you have the fight. In the fight, of course, you hope you get a win, and you hope that you and your opponent get out safe. Out safe out the ring. That none of your like break something or something like that. But besides that, yes, I have some good nerves before the fight, but I'm way more relaxed than like in the amateurs.
Yes.
I have
So
a bit of go ahead, Nafis.
I was gonna say if opponent talks shit to you or talks trash, like how does that affect you or it doesn't?
If somebody does that, it only motivates me more.
Okay.
I'm not the type of fighter that I can talk with him, like say something back. Maybe in some situations, if he gonna talk about my family or stuff like that, then I can say something back. But rather that I'll be like laughing and maybe liking on social media or something like that. And yeah, it will only motivates me. And yeah, man, I really like it if somebody talk bad or say like he's gonna win, like this guy can do nothing and blah blah. Yeah,
It's that competitive drive. It drives up the competition. Though boundaries are good sometimes too, man.
yes, definitely. it built up the heat, you know, between you and your opponent, and also for the fans, you know.
Yeah.
They also love it.
I wanted to ask you a physical question. So you do all that conditioning and training that you do. Do you do any other like extracurricular things, maybe meditation, yoga, to like help calm your nerves more? Or and on top of that, what is your resting heart rate? I've always wanted to ask a fighter that question.
my what? Wrestling?
Resting heart rate, if you know it, which is
okay. First of all, I don't do meditation or yoga, but maybe I'm gonna do it in the future if it helps me. I'm really calm by myself, you know. So I'm really down to earth and yeah, I think I'm mentally very strong. But I don't do like extra stuff besides kickboxing. Yeah, only swimming for my cardio, and yeah, of course running. But every fighter runs, you know. And yeah, and my heart rate. I think the last time was at my last fight. I really don't know, but it was very low. It was
so
very low.
impressive.
The doctor said like, "Whoa, it's almost that it looked like you're sleeping, you know, like that low, you know." So yeah.
Who would you fight, dead or alive, man? If you could, anyone. Is there someone you would like to fight?
Wow, dead or alive? I just want to defend my belt, you know. But I have one guy now at this moment. He is like a little bit unreachable for me, and that's Cedric Doumbé, the glory champion of 77 kilos. Yeah, I think if I defeat him, you can say that I am like the true world champion, the undisputed world champion of 77 kilos at this moment. Yes.
Wow.
Very interesting choice.
A very interesting
Yes.
choice. Yeah.
Yes.
Gotta do it. What about like, you know, other like all our heroes, like, you know, Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson or whatever.
Bruce
other-
Lee.
Bruce Lee. More fun answer.
Yeah, but that I like, you know, that different sports, you know, like
Yeah.
boxing and kung fu. So
I guess you're right. Yeah.
I don't think I should like have a chance against Bruce Lee. And also not against Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali also not, because the weight class is too big, you know.
Too big, yeah.
But I think maybe if they were my weight classes, maybe there a little chance, you know. But yeah, we will never know. So
This reminds me of like when they kept asking Khabib, who would you like to fight? Who would you like to fight? He's like, you know, bring King Kong. If he makes 165, I fight.
exactly.
So what's the most important thing for you at the end of your career? Like when looking back at your career, I know you're young now. There's still so much more for you to accomplish, hopefully.
The most important thing for me right now after my career is that I can still make a living of kickboxing. And with that I mean like giving seminars or, you know, kickboxing classes, or like helping other guys with their training camp, you know, coaching. And I already like working on that, because besides my own career, I also teach like at gyms and do personal training. So yeah, that's my goal, that I can still live from kickboxing, from my career, you know. Yes.
So you really love it for you to think that.
Yes, because I don't see it like as a work, you know. Many people here on earth, they go to their work just for the money, you know. They don't like really enjoy the work, you know. And you have to do it your whole life, almost your whole life, you know. So I don't want to do a job that I don't like, you know, for almost my whole life, you know. So so that's why I that's why I wanna accomplish that.
Did you
That's
ever
amazing.
have like a backup plan in case kickboxing didn't work out for you when you were
Yeah,
younger? Yeah.
when I was younger, not. I was just reckless, you know, living from the kickboxing money, but the kickboxing money is not like secure, you know. You can break something and then it's over, you know. But I was young, you know. I was like, hey, I'll make some money, so you know, fuck everything. Just you know, focus on kickboxing. But how older you get, you start to realize like you wanna accomplish things, you know, like buying your own house, uh, you get a girlfriend, you know, stuff like that. You know, the normal stuff. And when you want all the stuff, you have like to be like you have to have something secure, you know, like a secure income. So I work also besides my career. I'm a cook at a daycare and cooking for children. I did that 5 times a week, but it was full time. But now I do it part time, like 3 times a week. So, and yeah, I still enjoy it. Um,
What
That's
type of
yeah, I
food
work
do you cook?
Yeah. What
Yeah.
food do you cook?
um, yeah, almost just the normal things, you know, because we cook also for babies. So yeah, you can say like spaghetti or like rice with chicken and vegetables, you know, stuff like that. Just the normal food. And yeah, that's it, man.
That's a
Do you think if people worked hard enough at kickboxing and they trained really hard, that they could be just as good as you, or do you think that you have something that separates you from all the other fighters?
No, I don't think I have something that separates me from other fighters. Of course, a little things, you know, because every fighter is different. But the main thing is that you you have to keep believing in your dreams, you know, because the road to where I've been right now is like really tough and hard and full of obstacles and you know I would do it like
Literal
like
beatings.
yes, but besides that is also I cannot find the word right now, but imagine you practice but you don't get a fight because the opponents are scary of you. So you know, like I had like a period in my career that I didn't fight for like almost 1 year just because the opponents were, or they wouldn't fight me because my record was too good, or they canceled the fight like on a 1 week notice or something like that. So you know, for me, it was at that point it was like,
yes.
oh man, and I didn't have like work, you know. So for me, it was like, yeah, I'm gonna quit kickboxing, man. You know, I have to do something else, and you know, at that time you have to keep going, because if I had stopped there at that moment, I wouldn't have been here in like right now, you know. So yeah.
So at that point, right, no one was willing to fight with you, but don't people want to, fight the person with the perfect record to prove themselves? Like, how did, um,
Yeah,
must
but
have been
it was
annoying.
like
Yeah.
different things coming together, you know. My management was not so good at that time, so he had not all the connections, you know, to the right promotions. So that was also a thing. And then if he had like fights for me, then the opponent would withdraw, or you know, opponent get injury, or you know, stuff like that. And then I get loose of him, of the manager that I had. And then I just like, you know, I was without a manager.
Right.
Then you know, it's like, for your feeling, it's like, you know, you're without fights, you know. So for what you're training then, you know.
Right.
And Yeah,
Yeah.
and I wasn't working, so no money. So you
Right.
can imagine how that feels. So
It's definitely annoying at least. But so young
yes,
fighters out there that are looking for managers, what advice do you have? Like, what is a good manager?
look, that is really difficult
I'm
because you have to know the right people first,
Hmm.
and you don't know what people like are right and what people are like have bad intentions with you. So that part is like really difficult. You have to feel it in your heart also, and sometimes that feeling in your heart is also not good. So yeah, man. I, I cannot say anything about that or
Right.
helping, give advice or something like that, because
Hard.
you
Yeah.
you you have to trust people, but you don't know if they have like good intentions with you. So yes, yeah, yeah.
Amazing. No. Yeah. So when you were doing those fights monthly, right? You said every month you were doing a fight.
Yes.
There's a big thing right now about recovery. Everyone's trying to recover and whatnot, but you're able to do fight after fight after fight. How were you able to recover from each fight for the next fight? Yeah.
Yeah, for my body, when I'm fight, my injuries were like really low. Um, I think maybe it's also because of my fighting style that I try to avoid and not getting hit as much as possible. Um, but um, yeah, after the fight, immediately ice packs and stuff like that. If I had an injury, like especially my shins. The rest was most of the time. If you fight kickboxing, Muay Thai, is all the time is your shins or your knees, and sometimes your elbow because you're getting the kicks on your arms. But besides that, you don't have like really bad injuries. Only if you are like unlucky. But yeah, I can say like that I didn't had like very bad injuries in my career. So thankfully.
Nice. Thankfully. Yeah.
Yes.
I have a question. Why
Yeah.
the Immortal? Why the Immortal in the name?
Because in my when I was amateur fighter, my friends and training partners, my cardio was really good, and I had like one fight. I didn't take a rest in the round. I just go in the corner. The trainer give me some water. I just breathe. I stood up, go to the middle of the ring, and just like waiting like this, like waiting on my opponent. And since that fight, they call me like the onsterfelijke in Dutch. So in English is the Immortal. And the funny thing is, okay, I used that name since then, like Regian the Immortal Eersel. But then the movie came out, 300. I don't know if you know that movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
With the Spartans and the Persian army.
Yep.
And then I saw the Immortals in the Persian army with the mask. And then I was like, I really like them, with the mask and stuff in the face. So I was thinking like, okay, I'm gonna use that mask to use it as my logo. Yeah.
That's
So,
really cool.
yeah. Thanks.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
how's training like? Like, what are training camps like? And do you train regularly when there's no training camp, when there's no fight coming up?
Yes, as I was saying, like I train now 6 days a week, one rest day, only once a day, and that's in the week it's like in the evening after work, and in the weekend it's like in the morning, but like the pace of the training is not as high as you have a fight. The pace is like a little bit in the middle, because almost nobody has a fight, so we just train to keep the body in shape. And when I have a fight, the pace go very high, and I also go on a diet, of course, to
Maintain
to
your
lose
weight.
weight also. Yes, and to lose the weight also, and to keep to give my body like the extra boost. And then I do like 3 days a week, 2 times a day training, so in the morning and then in the evening also.
And like,
And
you're training sparring partners what type of people are they? Are they like someone who's always in the gym, or do you get someone special for a special opponent?
No, they are like my main training partners are the people that I just train with. They are every day with me in the gym. They're also professional fighters, and almost every training camp we go we go sparring in other gyms with also professional fighters, just to how do you say, to get used at a different style, and,
Okay.
yeah.
What's it like fighting in the different countries and traveling in different countries? Talked about like after the fight, you get time to look around at the different places you go to, and do you enjoy that? What are the cool places
Yes,
you've been?
I
Yeah,
very enjoy it,
Yeah.
because you learn about the culture, in the countries that you are fighting in. You learn to you meeting new people, of course, and you have most of the time you have time to look around, to walk around, look around in the city, and I really enjoy it, also being away from home,
yeah,
then I can explore the world,
it's amazing.
and yes, it's really amazing. I'm blessed.
Not too many people's jobs allow them to travel to all these different places, and it's really
True.
fortunate that you are. I want to know, is there like a specific story or a specific place that you went to that really like blew your mind?
Yes, but it was not fighting.
Mhm.
I was on holiday with my parents in the United States. I was 16 years. I was like amateur fighter, and I enjoyed the United States very much. And I was thinking, like, if I ever make it in the future to be a professional fighter, I would definitely be like fighting in the United States. And I think 3 years after or 4 years after, I had my first fight in Houston. So, and then after I had like 6 fights, like 2 times in New York, 1 time in Las Vegas, 2 times in LA. So yeah, I really joined the United States to fight. Also
Yes.
the hype, the people are different, the food is different, everything, man.
And-
It's like
and
you're
the-
stepping in the movie,
Right.
So
The hype is like a movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
was gonna say, where's the best fans?
The best fans, that's different. Wow.
I was gonna say
The
maybe
best one.
I don't, maybe in Thailand. I mean, they're the guys kind of came up with the Muay Thai style. Maybe Thailand has the best fans.
Maybe it's, for me. I think for me it's like I think it's Asia. I think
Asia,
because
yeah.
I fought a lot in Asia, like China 8 times, Singapore 3 times, Philippines once, Indonesia once. So I give you a funny story. In Singapore, we are on television when we fight in Asia. So after the fight, I want to stretch my legs, So after I get my shower, we go outside, to stretch the leg, walk around. We go to the McDonald's, and the McDonald's was crazy, man. Everybody was like, "Hey, I saw you on television like 2 hours ago. Congratulations, blah blah." Everybody want to get a picture of me. And yeah, I was like really surprised, because we went to McDonald's just to grab some food, like a random grab food, and nobody is looking at you, because you are just normal person. And then one guy recognized me, and then everybody came like, "Ah, yeah." So that's really fun about it. Yeah.
Do you get recognized often in Asia?
Not often, but like when I'm in the hotel and like when I'm at the event, yes, a lot. Yeah. Yeah.
You inspire a lot of people, I'm sure, and you're wearing the Aspire shirt as well. So I want to ask you,
Thank you.
who inspires the Immortal?
Oh, there's a fighter, also from my country. Suriname, and he also lived in my neighborhood. I have met him also a few times, and that's Tyron Spong. He used to fight at my weight class, also 77 kilos. And because he was from my neighborhood, and I saw he was winning, beating up all the guys, and he was, making good money. And I saw him also later in the K1, fighting Alistair Overeem and Lebanese, So I was like, yeah, man, he's like the first guy from our neighborhood that made it, in fighting, So he is still like an example for me. Yeah.
In your neighborhood, like, is it popular? Is fighting popular in the Netherlands?
In the Netherlands, a little bit. In my neighborhood, yes and no. I think soccer is still the number one sport here, but many people know kickboxing. Yes, so yeah, I would say yes. It's popular. Yeah.
Do you keep up with soccer at all?
No.
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 Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about the Olympics?
Little
Do you
bit.
keep up with the Olympics at all?
A little bit. I see it sometimes on television, and I read the news, but yeah, I don't look at it like, oh, I'm gonna look at the Olympics,
Right. Yeah. I like the Olympics because it's my country's there and all the different countries are there, and it's a good thing that brings the world together, I guess. Yeah.
Yes. I know. And I heard they are allowing Muay Thai now also.
Yeah.
So
they're allowing kickboxing.
Yeah.
Will we ever see you at the Olympics?
I don't know, man. I hesitate because I have to look what the rules here are here for to participate. Yes.
I don't think you'd be allowed because recently some guy in the Olympics in the final, he knocked the other guy out and he got disqualified for knocking him. So the Immortal cannot be in it because the Immortal knocked everyone out.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So yeah, I have to look what the rules are, because otherwise I stick to my own career.
Yes. Well, love it, Regian. Really appreciate your time here. We're kind of wrapping up on time here. But thank you, The Immortal, for coming on our podcast. Top one international podcast. Got a guy in Canada, a guy in Saudi Arabia, a guy in Los Angeles, and a guy in Amsterdam.
Nice.
International.
Nice.
Look at that. Thanks again, The Immortal, for coming on the show. And is there anything you want to shout out or let the world know before we wrap up?
For the people, you can follow me on Instagram at Koolhydraat, and follow my other page also, Immortal Teaching. And man, enjoy my fights.
Yes, best of luck with all the success. Going to watch more. All right, see you later.
Thank you. See you.
Peace out.
See you. Peace.
Later, man. Later. Thank you, guys.